Hey everybody, KG here, and I just want to go over the news of Xbox Series X and Series S having support for Dolby Vision HDR in gaming. Now, this is something that a lot of people didn't even know existed, but it has. It's been in Battlefield in the past, and that's it. That's it. That's the only game that's ever supported it, and they haven't even shown the best support for it. In fact, it was buggy at launch, and it still had problems to this day, to my knowledge. And most people say the HDR10 and Dolby Vision is almost like identical. There's some aspects where you get a little bit of deeper colors in certain scenes, but there's also certain scenes that look worse in Dolby Vision for Battlefield. And this is going to be a game developer type thing. Like, it's kind of the game developer's creative intent sort of idea. So whether or not it's going to look better than HDR10, maybe. It probably will. But what games support it? And that's kind of what I want to get into in this, right? Let's get into the news. Dolby announced that they're going to be working with Xbox Series S and Series X, and it'll be the first console to support Dolby Atmos and Dolby Vision HDR gaming. Dolby Atmos 3D sound will be enabled at launch, as expected, and Dolby Vision HDR gaming is set to arrive in 2021. Now, this is an important thing to remember because 2021 could be early, middle, or late. Like, it doesn't say when. And a reason why you need to keep this in mind is the support for Dolby Atmos for games has been really minuscule. So expect most games to be delivered to you in HDR10. That's just the truth. And how many games did we see on PC actually support Dolby Vision HDR? One. And to my knowledge, I think that's all that it is. So is this a huge deal? Like, is this like a nail in the coffin for anybody that owns a Samsung TV? Is this something that you can't recommend a Samsung TV for gaming anymore? No, it's absolutely not. And anybody telling you that it is, they're full of it. Like, this is just not fair to say. Because Dolby hasn't shown us in the past that they're even capable of working in games the way that they keep saying that they are going to. I remember the first implementation of Dolby Atmos in a game that I played, and that was Assassin's Creed Origins, and it was terrible. Like, to be honest, it wasn't the greatest implementation, and there were so many bugs, and it took a while for it to be fixed, and I don't know if they ever did fix it. It's important to remember all this stuff because you have to take an objective approach when you look at this kind of news, and you can't just overreact. You can't just all of a sudden write something off just because it doesn't have Dolby Vision HDR. We can get into whether or not Samsung should probably get Dolby Vision HDR. And yes, eventually they should probably get it. But the difference between Dolby Vision HDR and HDR10 is not the hugest difference in the world. Especially when you're watching movies, I don't personally notice a huge difference. I used to watch Dolby Vision all the time, and I owned an OLED. And I think HDR looks better on my Q90T. That's just how it is. Before I get into like the speculation and everything, because I kind of want to take that to like a limit in this video. I don't want to speculate too much, right? But let's go ahead and look at the Dolby Atmos games list. Like I said, we have AC Origins, which is Assassin's Creed Origins, you know, Borderlands 3, Modern Warfare, Crackdown, Final Fantasy, For Honor, Forza Horizon, Gears of War 4 and 5, Dolby Atmos demo, Metro Exodus, Ori, Resident Evil 2, both Tomb Raider games, Super Lucky's Tale, and Division 2. Alright, that's it. That's it. That's the end of the list. It doesn't get any longer than that. So go ahead and tell me how many of those games were released in the past year. The fact is, Assassin's Creed Origins, right? They had it. Was it on Odyssey? Or did they just forget to mention that? I can't remember. I honestly never enabled it, if they had it, because I was so burned by Origins. I have no idea if they're going to do the same thing with their Vision. You know, Dolby Vision is going to be the same thing where it's just partnerships with certain games. And I imagine that's what it is. Most games are going to be developed in HDR10. And most games in development right now are working with HDR10, I imagine. But we won't see it till 2021. And it doesn't say when. Like I said, it could be early, it could be late. We don't know. But I would expect most games to be HDR10. That's just how it's been. You know, Xbox has this upscaling for games that aren't in HDR. And they're supposed to be giving them HDR. If that's using anything, it's using HDR10. We've heard that in the past. So we still don't know how good that's going to be. So to sum it up, like, I'm sure you're going to see a ton of overreacting videos about this topic, you know, and they're just going to bury Samsung, right? And to me, it's not really fair because we haven't seen anything backed up by Dolby in the past when it comes to gaming. It's just not there. The support's just not there. I don't know. I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts on this and whether or not you think this is a big deal or if you think it's just kind of probably blown out of proportion, and it will be blown out of proportion. I can already see the videos popping up. So yeah, I guess Samsung's dead for gaming, guys. I don't know what to tell you. That's such a joke. Alright, so if you guys own this TV, you know how beautiful it is in gaming. And if you've owned an OLED, you know how beautiful those are, right? But if you've come from OLED to Q90T like I have, you could tell the difference. And it's just, to me, I like it better. And I won't be able to tell people that it's better than an OLED. That's just my opinion, right? There's things that the OLED does better. And I'm not going to go ahead and get into that in this video, because it's a long thing, right? I always tell people, like, compare them, right? I've actually recommended OLED over Q90T for people in certain circumstances. People that like certain things better. That's just what I do. I don't take things and I won't make a biased opinion to it just because I own the TV. And I've heard people accuse me of this before, and that's a joke. Come on, guys. You've seen my comments. I talk about OLED all the time. Just because I like the Q90 better doesn't mean that you will. And that's the thing I always keep in mind. Anyway, that about wraps up all of this. I might have rambled a little bit more than I wanted to, but tell me what you guys think in the comments. Go ahead and give this video a like if you liked it. Subscribe if you want to see more. And please share this video to everybody else. Thank you for watching and have a great day.